All right, so this is the updated video for my GSF matches. Now, it is going to be a part 2 of this. So, I am in the GSF outdoor matches competitions, and I'm also in the GSF indoor competitions. The indoor competitions are a little different. They go for 3 months at a time, and you have to participate in at least 2 of the 3 months. Now, it's only one day out of that month, but you do have to participate twice in order to be eligible for prizes for that particular tournament. So it's a 3-month tournament. You participate at least twice, and you could win, a prize being a pistol, or you can win cash prizes, or you can win like shirts, t-shirts, hats, things like that for the indoor match. So I'm gonna actually, spoiler alert, for the next video, I'm gonna be doing that all year round in 2026. So be on the lookout for that. This video is going to be about the 2 outdoor matches that I did for GSSF. Now, I trained for both. To be transparent with you, this is my first year that I've started shooting a pistol in general. I got my first everyday carry, my first pistol, January 1st of this year, and then I've just been going to the range, getting training in and all that good stuff, from personal training, from watching YouTube videos, to just dry firing, just everything that I could do to make sure that I capitalize on my learning and my just learning the basics of pistol handling and shooting and all that good stuff. In September, I stumbled upon the GSSF matches that they have in my area, or they have pretty much across the country. So check them out if you're a beginner all the way to a master. They're the same competitions every year. There's 3 different matches that they currently have, and those go on. I believe they said they've been doing it for about 20 years or something like that. So it's been going on for a long time, the GSSF matches. Now, it's the same as the indoor matches when it comes to the prizes. You can win a pistol, you can win cash prizes, you can win hats, you can wear shirts, all that good stuff. So it's pretty good. And of course, since it goes on every year, you could compare your results to the last years and things like that, and try to improve on your scores, and compete against pretty much yourself, not so much others, if you're just too much of a beginner and you really don't care about too much competition. This was the first year I got into shooting, first year I got into competition as well to shooting. So I did my first match in Kentucky. This was called the Bluegrass Regional Classic. I did that just a week ahead of my birthday. So that was my very first match. I got my range bag. Me and my wife went out there. It was in Kentucky, and it was a great day. The weather was great. When you have the outdoor matches, they run Saturday and Sunday. They start at 9 a.m. and then the registration for the matches end at 2. So you do have to be there at the competitions before 2 o'clock. I would recommend you getting there between 9 and 1:30 to be on the safe side, to make sure that you got everything set up for you to participate that particular day. So in Kentucky, I got there, I want to say around 10:30. We got out there. I got everything signed in. And now you do have to sign in to all 3 matches when you get out there. And then after that, you could pick and choose what match you want to do first, second, and third. But you have to sign in to make sure your name is on the board. And then you can put an X by your name when you're ready to roll. That's when they'll call you up, and then you could do your match. There's 3 different matches. There's 12 different divisions that you could run in. I picked in Kentucky to do only 1 division with my Glock 19X, and that was the amateur civilian division. So I ran that. Now, I'll break down the stages for you. The first stage is going to be Glockum. You have 4 paper targets and then a steel popper. The paper targets and steel popper, the distance is from 7 yards all the way to 15 yards. So you have I believe 11 rounds that you could run. You get 3 runs total. So you get 11 rounds in your magazine you can load up. You're going to shoot the 4 paper targets twice. Then you're going to shoot the still target once. If you miss the still target, don't worry. You can shoot it 2 more times, but then after that, it's just too bad. If you don't shoot the still target in 3 shots and you don't shoot the paper targets in the middle, which is a 13-inch diameter, then that counts pretty much as a miss. A miss is 10 seconds added to your score, just to give you a heads up. So paper target, you want to stay in the 8-inch circle of the target. You'll get 0 seconds added to your score. If you go outside from 8 inches to 13 inches of that circle, that's when you'll get 1 second added per hit. And then anything that's still on the paper target but outside of the circle, you'll have added of, I believe, 3 to 5 seconds added to your score. If you don't hit the paper target at all, outside of the target, you don't hit the paper target at all, and you don't hit the still at all, you'll have 10 points added to your score per hit. So you want to be as accurate as possible with that. So that is the Glock M. With the 5 to Glock, you have 5 paper targets and you have 3 rounds you're going to do, and you're going to shoot those targets twice per round. So the total that you're going to have in those particular targets when you're done is going to be 6. So we're going to have 6 holes in all 5 targets. That's when they're going to go and, do the points. If you get in the 8-inch circle, all the hits in the 8-inch circle, you have 0 seconds added to your points. Anything within the 13 circle, outside the 8-inch circle, you're going to have, 3 to 5 seconds added to your points. Or 1 second added to your point. If you just hit the target outside of the circle, that's when you get the 3 to 5 seconds. And then, of course, if you don't hit the target at all, you're going to have 10 seconds added per hit. Now, that is the second stage. The fourth stage is Glock the plates. You have 4 magazines. You're going to load up 11 rounds in. There's 6 plates. The plates themselves are about 8 inches in diameter, and then they could be away from you about 7 to 11 yards out. So you have 11 shots to hit those 6 plates. If you don't hit those 6 plates, or they don't go down all the way, then keep trying. But then if you get to 11 shots and those plates are still up, then every plate still standing counts as 10 seconds added to your score. So in Kentucky, I did great. I barely missed any plates. My runs were fantastic. I got 107 seconds that I did all 3 matches in. So that gave me a placement of 43. So I placed 43rd, and I believe it was 80 people in the bluegrass match. So that was pretty good. For my very first match, 43 out of 80 that I placed. Did the whole competition in 107 seconds. That was amazing. Now, Indiana was a little different. Indiana was a little different. That was the following week, right after my birthday. I did party and had a lot of sugar and a lot of fun on my birthday. I turned 39. So the next day, that's when I drove out. I want to say about 40 minutes from where I stay. It was Indiana, but for about 40 minutes from where I live. And it was me, my middle son, and my wife went out there. I competed in 2 divisions this time. So I competed in the amateur civilian competition that I did the same in Kentucky, but then I also want to add another division. This division was the competition stock division. So I was able to run my Glock 19X in 2 different divisions each division that you run, it's 12 different divisions, and each division you run costs you $30 per division. So it cost me $60 to run in 2 divisions, but I felt that I was able to get more practice, and if I mess up on one run, I got to do it again, in another division with the same pistol. So for instance, when I did the Glock the Place the first time, I just told them, let me do this one in the amateur civilian. I shot it. I had, I think, 3 plates still standing after I hit my 11 shots. So that was 30 seconds added to my score. But when I was able to do my run again, I said, all right, well, this run, let me do it as the competition. I ran it better. Now that I got that out the way, the first division out the way, I was able to do the competition division even better than the first one. And I did that a few times. I would give them my paperwork and tell them, let me do this as the amateur civilian first. We'll do the run. That'll just get me to, kind of get my experience. It would be the first run, just get it out the way. And then I would take my time and then do my second run in the competition division. Now, when it came to the final overall scores, I placed 42nd in the amateur civilian in Indiana, and in the competition division, I placed, I want to say, 37. So I did very great. Unfortunately, my times were longer in Indiana. I wanted to take my time, and I did use a different fiber optic than I did in the Kentucky match. In the Kentucky match, I used just the Glock 19X factory night sights, and I think I did pretty good, but I still was having a little problem in long distances trying to see that dot and line them up correctly. I did see a few people that had fiber optics. So you can have fiber optics, but you can't have a red dot. So I did go with a fiber optic in Indiana. I put a red fiber optic. I tested out. I went to an indoor range to test out, and red was better for me than the green fiber optic. So I thought I was ready when I went to Indiana. But when I went outside for the Indiana match, that red dot that fiber optic, I should say, was just really, really bright. That's the only thing I could basically see when I put that pistol up to do the targets. All I could see was that big red fiber optic. So going future, I'm gonna switch over to the green fiber optic front sight when I'm on the outdoor matches, and then when I'm in the indoor matches, that's when I'm gonna do the red fiber optic. Just for my eyes, that's just how it worked for me. I saw better results that way, and that's just how it was. Now, even though it started getting cold after those 2 matches, there was no matches close to me nearby after that. So I will be going in 2026, multiple matches. I think there's like 2 or 3 in Indiana. There's a few in Ohio, and there's a few in Kentucky. I'm going to go to all of them that I can physically, mentally, emotionally, financially get to. Rent a car and just head out there if they're out of state. So you will see me out there. My goal for 2026 is to win a Glock pistol. If I don't win it performance wise, you do have to be, I believe, in the top 3 to win a Glock pistol based on your performance. So if I'm not in the top 3, that's totally fine. You can still randomly win a Glock pistol just by being in the division and finishing your division. So if I go into 2 different divisions, when I go to an outdoor match, I'll be entered twice into a random drawing to get a Glock pistol, and that will be every time I go to a competition. So for instance, I want to go to about, I want to say 7 competitions, and if I do 2 divisions in those 7 competitions, that's 14 chances I have to win a Glock pistol. So I'm hoping in 2026 I can win a Glock pistol for the outdoor matches, and the indoor matches, we'll get to that on the next video. I will tell you how I can also win a Glock pistol in those indoor matches too, and my chances. That being said, that's pretty much the sum up and the update update for my outdoor matches when it comes to GSSF. Thank you for following my journey. 2026, I'm going to do a lot more outdoor matches, and I'll be able to, tell you about them and see how they do. I did get a new pistol, which is a Glock 44, so I'll be having a new division. I have the Glock 19X still an amateur civilian. I still may have that in the competition division as well too. But then I'm going to enter a third division, being the rimfire division, where you can have your Glock 44 in. And also, spoiler alert, my wife is going to enter the GSF in 2026 too. She's going to have the Glock 19 as her stock gun, and she's also going to have the Glock 44 as the rimfire division. She said she wants to do that as well too. So she'll have two divisions. I have two or three different divisions that I'll run in 2026. So please follow both our journeys as we try to win this Glock pistol or win some money, trying to win something cool. All right. Please like, please subscribe and share, and I will see y'all next video. Take care. Have a blessed day.